Welcome to Hilary Emmanuel Ministries, where faith meets power, purity and prosperity, and breakthroughs are born. At Diadem, we equip you with bold prayers, life-transforming teachings, and spiritual strategies to overcome every challenge life throws your way. Join us as we dive into God's Word, experience His presence like never before, and walk in His purpose for our lives. If you're in London, we invite you to fellowship with us in person at Diadem, 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. Don't forget to subscribe now and let's grow in faith together.
Brethren, we are here today to pray for ourselves. I told you we have very serious prayers today. We are going to pray for ourselves. We are going to pray for our spiritual lives. We are dealing with what I call battle for your sleep, dreams, visions, eyes, ears, mind, and memory. That's the title of today's message. Battle for your sleep, dreams, visions, eyes, ears, mind, and memory. If you understand, brethren, how much the enemy struggle with us over these areas of our lives, if you understand how much, the enemies know that the most part, the greater part of the aspect God can reach us and speak to us and minister to us is through these channels I just pointed out now. There are some people, they have developed their spiritual lives to the point that God can speak directly to their minds, and they will get what you call intuitive perception. They will get deep message inside their heart. Such people, the enemy will always focus on their mind. The battle will be raging day and night in the mind. You were here during our Bible study on Tuesday when the Lord was giving the parable of the sower. And he said that when the word lands in the mind, in the heart, he said that you see the different things want to choke it, different things want to attack it, the enemy want to snatch it. So all those battles, brethren, they go on in the mind. And if we don't know how to pray for our minds, if we don't know how to sanctify our minds constantly, if we don't know how to deliver our minds, you discover that we might think we are still standing, whereas the enemies have taken over the mind. Do you know what the Bible says? It said the heart, that is the mind of a man, is desperately wicked. And who can know it? To the point, the mind can now begin to deceive somebody. The Bible says it's deceitful. It can begin to deceive somebody and the person will not know that the mind is deceiving him or her, because the enemies have taken over. Another area again is sleep. Sleep. You know, we take sleep for granted. Do you know there are people that cannot sleep? Do you know there are people that take tablets to sleep? They have to swallow tablets to be able to close eyes for even 30 minutes. Why is the enemy attacking their sleep? Why is there? Because if you sleep, you have just approached a level of spiritual realm through sleep, where God can come and meet you, where God can come and speak to you. There are sleeps or individual sleep that the enemies have taken over. They don't allow people to sleep. Then the next thing again is dreams. Dreams. They know that that's how God speaks to man, through dreams. And some people, they have confiscated their dream lives. They've seized it. The dream is no longer in their control. It's the enemy now ruling. The enemy showed them what they want them to see. And all the dream is always negative ones. Bad thing. No message from God. Other people is their vision. Vision. They will think that what they are seeing is from God, whereas it's demon manipulating it. There are others, the eyes, the ears, and then the memory. The memory is the worst one. That one, the enemy, when they begin to attack the memory, the individual will get messages, will see dreams, but they will delete it immediately. Or they will delete it partially. They might delete the beginning and delete the end and leave what you cannot connect again. And the person will wake up and say, I had a dream. I know it's a serious dream, but I can't put anything together again. That was the kind of dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. They deleted it immediately. How would they not delete it when he's worshiping idols? They deleted everything. He himself knew it was a serious dream. And you know that if not because of the Spirit of God that now connected Daniel back to that dream was gone for good. It was gone forever. And there are a lot of people suffering under what we are talking about today. So we want to pray for all these areas of our lives. We want to pray for all these areas so that the Lord can give us wholesome life, delivered life, sanctified life, that there's no distortion anywhere. Whereby when God gives message, this message is from heaven. When you see any dream, you know the interpretation and the meaning immediately, that God is speaking to you. So that's what we want to do here today. You must understand one thing, brethren, that dreams are God's counsel to man. Take note of that word, counsel. Dreams are a way of God speaking to man, giving man advice. When things are about to happen, the Lord will speak through dreams. It's a counsel. For example, the one he gave Pharaoh about the famine that was coming. It was a counsel. Pharaoh could as well ignore that dream, isn't it? It was a counsel. The one he gave Nebuchadnezzar, it was a counsel. So it's a God's counsel unto man. Look at chapter 11, Proverbs 11 in verse 14. He said, where no counsel is, the people do what? They fall. They fall. And when will the Bible talk about falling? Falling is deadly. People can fall and never rise again. People can fall and die. So he said, where there's no counsel, and the enemies know these scriptures, brethren. And that's why they try to cut the children of God off from dreams, from counsels, from the counsel of God, so that God will not be able to counsel his own children, even when danger is coming, even when trouble is coming. Because the enemies know, where there is no counsel from heaven, people will fall. He said, but in the take note of that. Are you there with me? In the multitude of counsel, there's what? Safety. There's safety. Which means, if you sleep in one night, and the Lord give you repeated dream, even 20 dreams, that's a multitude of counsel. He said, it makes you to be safe. It's to protect you. And why is the enemy then attacking it? Why is the enemy blocking it? That a whole week, a whole month, possibly a whole year, a child of God will not see dream. That is abnormal. Something is terribly wrong. It's not right. Brother, you need counsel. And you need godly counsel in everything you do in life. And in every area of your life. Look at Proverbs 15. Proverbs 15, look at verse 22. He said, without counsel, purposes are disappointed. Are you seeing that with me? We have a lot of purposes in life, brethren. Our lives are purpose driven. We have plans. We have what we want to achieve. We have what we are working on. We have different projects. Those are purposes. We have what we are praying for every day. Those are purposes. He said, but without counsel, especially counsel from God, he said those purposes will be frustrated. They will be disappointed. Without counsel. But in the multitude of counselors, they are established. So if you are handling any project, if you are pursuing anything in life, you need counsel from God. And mostly God will reach you through dreams. Proverbs 24. So whether it is a project you are doing, whether it's for your own personal life, whether it's any area of your life, you can see the importance of counsel here. Proverbs 24, look at verse 6. For by wise counsel thou shalt make thy war. He said, even fighting spiritual warfare, even fighting any battle in life, he said, make sure you don't fight blindly. Fight by counsel. Make sure God is giving you counsel how to fight that battle. And in the multitude of counsel, there is still safety. You can see now, repeatedly the scripture is emphasizing these things. And these are the reasons why God gives us dreams. It's counsel. 1, to make us to succeed. 2, to keep us safe. Job chapter 33, look at verse 14. Job 33 verse 14. For God speaketh once, yet twice, yet man perceiveth it not. Do you know God is speaking? Not everybody can get it. Not everybody can understand it. Not everybody can hear it. And because he's trying to reach us, he's trying to speak to us. He said he spoke once, he spoke twice, with no perception, no understanding. We are not grasping it. Verse 15. How does he speak? In a dream. Are you seeing it? That's where he gives us counsel. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men. Do you now see why the enemy attacks sleep? Do you now see why they don't allow some people to sleep? Or even if they sleep at all, they don't sleep deep. Because the Bible says you need deep sleep. You need deep sleep for you to get to the realm of dream. He said, when deep sleep follow upon man, in slumbering upon the bed, verse 16, then when that happens and you get to that realm, then he openeth where? Ears. Because he wants to speak to your ears in the dream. He opened the ears of men and sealed their, he give them the instruction, the counsel. He put the instruction in the ears. Put the instruction in the ears. Do you now understand now what we are talking about tonight? Why the enemies attack the ears? Why they attack the eyes? Why they attack the memory? Why they attack the sleep? Why they attack the dream? Because these are the channels, these are the avenues through which God can reach us to give us counsel. So when they have attacked it and blocked it like that and God can no longer reach verse 17, why was God doing it? That he may withdraw man from his purpose and hide his pride from man. He keepeth back his soul from the pit and his life from perishing by the sword. He said he does it as a counsel to save man. You know, that place we read in Proverbs, 3 chapters of Proverbs. He said safety, safety, safety. He said that's why God gives us dreams and counsel, to save us so that we don't fall into pit, so that we don't perish. And this is God's agenda. And this is why the enemy also target dreams, attack all these channels so that we can't get anything. Job chapter 20. Because when the enemy step in, when the enemy discover that God is giving you dreams and God is giving you revelations and your eyes are sharp and your ears are getting messages, when they begin to attack, look at what they said. In Job 20 verse 8, he said, he shall fly away as a dream. Do you see now? Dreams can fly away. A lot of people are having this kind of dream. They have dream, but before they wake up, the dream has flown away. And shall not be found. They can't find the dream anymore. It's gone. Yeah, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The vision, who is chasing them away? Demons, spirits of darkness. They chase away visions. They chase away counsels of God and messages from God. They drive them away. Look at 1 Samuel chapter 16. So that why I'm showing you this bit by bit and taking you gradually into this, so that you have perfect understanding, so that you know not to invite demons into your life. You know how not to allow demons to come into your life, not to give demons room to come into your environment and your home. Take note of this now. 1 Samuel 16. Look at verse 14. You remember what I've told you so far? That dream is God's counsel, whereby God reaches us and give us messages to save us, to give us safety. Now look at verse 14. 1 Samuel 16 verse 14. But the Spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and an evil spirit from the Lord came in and started to trouble him. You remember King Saul very well. You remember that when Samuel met him first, and Samuel anointed him as the king of Israel, that he received the spirit of prophecy. Remember, he prophesied. And that prophecy, that spirit of prophecy was sufficient for him for the rest of his life. That spirit will have guided him. Every counsel he needed from God, because the spirit of prophecy is spirit of revelation. Is the spirit of God. Is the spirit that will speak directly to you what God is saying. But he mismanaged that spirit. He gambled that spirit. And the Bible says that spirit now departed. The spirit of God departed. And an evil spirit came. The evil spirit that now came, look at what happened. 1 Samuel 28. 1 Samuel 28, look at verse 3. Because the spirit of God that was giving him revelation, that was speaking to him, any question and any doubt he had, all he needed to do was to ask the Spirit of God. And the Spirit of God will explain everything to him. The spirit of prophecy will explain everything to him. They will show him dream. They will show him everything. Even if they cannot speak to him, they will speak to the prophet nearby or another person to go and tell him. But he squandered all those things. Look at what followed. Verse 3. Now, Samuel was dead, and all Israel had lamented him and buried him in Ramah, even in his own city. And Saul had put away those that had familiar spirits and the wizards out of the land. And the Philistines gathered themselves together and came and pitched in Shunem. And Saul gathered all Israel together, and they pitched in Gibeah. And when Saul saw the host of the Philistines, he was afraid. You know why we need the Spirit of God and the message and the counsel of God? Take note, counsel. Why we need the counsel of God is that enemies are alive. Our enemies are around. And battles are still there. That's why we need the Spirit of God. We need the counsel of God. You remember that place I read to you in Proverbs? Where he say, by counsel make thy war. So if you have wars in your life, you have battles to fight, and there's no counsel. Do you see trouble now? No safety. Let's see what happened to Saul. So Saul now was afraid, and his heart trembled greatly. Verse 6. And when Saul inquired of the Lord, he needed what? Counsel. Brethren, listen. It doesn't matter what we are doing. It doesn't matter how bold we think we are. One day we will need God's counsel. We get to a point in our life, we got to a junction, we need God's counsel. We need spiritual counsel. So Saul now got to that point. He needed counsel. He needed to hear what God was saying. He needed to hear the idea of heaven. So his heart was so afraid and trembled, and he inquired of the Lord. And what happened? The Lord answered him not. Neither by no dream anymore. Dream is gone. You know, listen carefully, brethren. He took the dream before for granted. He thought it was his right. He thought, well, is it not dream? If I sleep, I will dream. And then suddenly he discovered that dream is not his own. Suddenly he discovered that dream was God's counsel. And it was gone. So he now slept and no dream came. So God refused to speak to him, not either by dream or by Urim, nor by prophets. No message from it. Everywhere closed. Verse 7. Then, you know, he now became desperate. He became desperate now. The enemies are there coming. Battle is facing him. He doesn't know what to do. No counsel from God. How is he going to fight without counsel? Then said Saul unto his servant, seek me a woman. The heart is now looking for what? Another spirit. Say, look for somebody. I just need to get into the spirit realm. I just need a message from the spirit realm. He said, look for a woman that has witchcraft spirit for me. If God permits us, we will deal with that separately. People that prophesy by the spirit of witchcraft. So he said, get somebody. I just need a message from the spirit realm, that I may go to her and inquire of her. And his servant said to him, behold, there is a woman that has a familiar spirit in Endor. Verse 11. Verse 11. Then said the woman, whom shall I bring up unto thee? And he said, bring me up Samuel. What is he looking for Samuel for again? What does he need Samuel for? When he had Samuel at his beck and call, he didn't value it. He never visited Samuel. Samuel, an old man, will be the one to come all the way from Ramah to Gibeah of Saul to come and visit him. And when Samuel will come, how will he treat Samuel? You are Bible scholars now. How was he treating Samuel? He will tear his skirt. He will naked him. He will cause him shame and embarrassment in the public. The man of God will have to look for a way to cover himself to run home. That's how he treated Samuel. He took all those things for granted. Now he needed that Samuel. Why? He's looking for counsel. He just wanted to hear a word from heaven. He said, bring me up Samuel. Verse 12. And when the woman saw Samuel, she cried with a loud voice. And the woman spake to Saul, saying, why hast thou deceived me? For thou art Saul. And the king said unto her, be not afraid, for what seest thou? And the woman said unto Saul, I saw gods ascending out of the earth. Say, I see gods coming out from the ground. And he said unto her, what form? How do they look? Because he was not seeing it. It's the woman that was seeing it. He said, what form is he of? And she said, an old man cometh up, and he is covered with a mantle. And Saul perceived that it was Samuel, and he stooped with his face to the ground. All this while, he has never bowed down for Samuel before. Now he's bowing down to Samuel he did not see. He stooped and bowed down to the ground. Verse 15. And Samuel said to Saul, why did you disturb my sleep to bring me up? And Saul answered, I am sore. Do you see why God gives us dream, brethren? I said, do you see why God gives us revelation? So that we don't get to this kind of state where we will be so distressed in life. He said, I am so distressed, for the Philistines make war. His enemies were overwhelming him. He was so distressed to the breaking point. And God is departed from me, and answereth me no more, neither by prophets, nor by dreams. Say, that's why I have called thee, so that you can give me what? Counsel, that you may make me know unto me what I shall. You just don't get to know what to do. Counsel. We take counsel for granted also. You see, all I just need is counsel. I just want somebody to tell me what to do. These are things we pick up easily in the dream. These are things we just sleep, we wake up, and God has given us what to do. These are things we just go sit down like this, and the Lord message will just drop in our heart, and the Lord will just tell us what to do. You see, I just need somebody to tell me what to do. I don't know what to do anymore. Verse 16. Then said Samuel, wherefore then, why are you asking me? Wherefore dost thou ask me, seeing when God has departed for you and has become your enemy? Say, now God has become your enemy. Why are you asking me then? What do you think I will do? To come and join your gang? To join your group and become God's enemy? It's not possible. So, brethren, do you now see? If we go back a little bit in this scripture we just read now, how did Saul get here? How did he get to this point? That there was no more dream, no more messages. God was not talking to him anymore. An evil spirit stepped in. Are you hearing what I'm saying? An evil spirit stepped into his life. And that evil spirit, the first thing he did was to cut his dream life off. Severed him from God, so that he cannot hear God anymore, so that God cannot. After all, if he was just ordinary sinner, after all, didn't God give Pharaoh dream? Was Pharaoh born again? No. Didn't God give Nebuchadnezzar a dream, even about his own life? Was Nebuchadnezzar born again? Was he not the one roasting the children of Israel in fire? And yet God gave him dream. So why will God now not give the king of Israel dream? Demon, a specific demon, a definite demon that knew the value of dreams and God's counsel, that knew that the way they could destroy him was to cut him off from God's counsel. That demon stepped in and cut him off. Let me show you another person. 2 Chronicles 18. You know, because he thought that, well, if God doesn't answer me, I can always go back to witchcraft. After all, I was doing my witchcraft before God came. And when he went to witchcraft, did they help him? Was it not that night they pronounced his obituary? They told him that this night he will join me. That was the end of his life. Now look at this, 2 Chronicles 18, look at verse 1. Now, Jehoshaphat had riches and honor in abundance. These are the things that deceive people. Sometimes you might have riches and honor in abundance, and you think, what do I need dream for? The eye, if you like, let it blind. The ears, I don't need to hear anything. I don't need God's counsel. I have riches and honor in abundance. So he had everything in abundance, and he now went and joined affinity with Ahab. He became business partner, became in-law, became friend with Ahab. No counsel from God. He didn't even ask God, hey, should I become the friend of Ahab? Because sometimes riches make blind people, give people false hope, whereby you think, if even that person preaching, does he have what I have? So he went and became the friend of Ahab, somebody that is already under God's judgment for destruction. So for you to know, he had no message from God, no counsel from God. You know, that's how people who don't have counsel, that's how they behave. They dabble into everything without counsel. Look at verse 2. And after certain years, he went down to Ahab to Samaria, and Ahab killed sheep and oxen for him in abundance, and for the people that he had with him, and persuaded him to go up with him to Ramoth Gilead. This Ramoth Gilead was battlefront. Killed cattle, everything for him, and say, let's go to war. War, is it cinema? Don't you know that war, people die in war? It's not every person that go to war that come back. Verse 3. And Ahab, king of Israel, said to Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, will thou go with me to Ramoth Gilead? And he answered, I am as thou art. Me and you, we are one. My people are thy people, and will be with you in the war. Okay. Verse 4. And Jehoshaphat said unto the king of Israel, look at now, that was still have small godliness in him, because he came from Judah. So Jehoshaphat now said, because Ahab's plan was, let's just go without counsel. Let's go and fight war without counsel. So Jehoshaphat now said, no, wait first. Don't you have anybody here in Israel that we may do what? That we might inquire. What are they looking for here? Counsel. He said, let's inquire first of all. I prayed who? At the word of the Lord. See, let's see. Is there nobody we can ask? Because God doesn't talk to Ahab. God is not going to talk to himself. He said, is there nobody we can ask about from God? Let's hear counsel now. This is war. Verse 5. Therefore, the king of Israel gathered together all prophets, 400 men. Impression. Just to impress him. If his counsel, I have them in abundance. 400, and said unto them, shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And they said, what? Go up, for God will deliver it to the king's hand. Where 400 prophets are prophesying. Is that not a done deal? And all of them are prophesying the same thing. So Ahab will say, you see? Verse 6. But Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a proper prophet? He said, don't you have here real prophets of God? How was he? How did he come to the point of doubting 400 prophets? Is there not here a prophet of the Lord beside these ones, that we may inquire of him? Brethren, do you know when the enemy wants to destroy somebody, he can surround that person with fake prophets. Fake prophets. Fake prophets. Like that man that went and ran for governorship election. And all the whole prophets have been prophesying. Go to Ramoth Gilead and prosper. The day they did the election, I don't know how many votes he got. The first thing he said in his defeat statement was, where are all those men of God? They have been collecting my money since I prophesied for me that I will win. So he now says, is there no proper prophet here that we might ask of him? Verse 7. The king of Israel said to Joshua, there's yet one man, there's yet one, by whom we may inquire of the Lord. Even the enemies themselves, they know. Even Ahab himself knew that there's one person that God speaks to. He said, but I hate him. That's why I didn't invite him. I hate him. For he never prophesied good unto me, but always evil. The same is Micaiah the son of Imlah. And Jehoshaphat said, let not the king say so. And the king of Israel called for one of his officers and said, fetch quickly Micaiah the son of Imlah. And the king of Israel and Jehoshaphat king of Judah sat either of them on the throne, clothed with their robes, and they sat in a void place at the entering of the gate of Samaria. And all the prophets, they continued to prophesy before them. Still prophesying. Verse 10. And Zedekiah, the son of Chenana, had made him horns of iron. And thus said the Lord, with this thou shalt push Syria until they be consumed. That one even went and made a horn, and using it to demonstrate and dance. So they push this until you destroy them. Prophesying all kinds of fake things. Verse 11. And all the prophets saying, go up to Ramoth Gilead and prosper, for the Lord shall deliver it to the hand of the king. And the messenger that went to call Micaiah spake unto him, saying, behold, the word of the 400 of them, they are saying the good things to the king in one accent. Let thy word, therefore, I pray thee, be like one of theirs, and speak thou good. Please, speak good things. The king wants to hear good things today. Verse 13. And Micaiah said, as the Lord liveth, even what my God said, that will I speak. And when he was come to the king said to him, Micaiah, shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And he said, go ye up and prosper. Is that not what you want to hear? Go and prosper there, and they shall be delivered into your hand. Verse 15. And the king said to him, how many times shall I adjure thee? Take note of that word, adjure thee. In the Old Testament, they used it. Adjure thee. Anytime they use it, the person must say the truth. I command you in the name of Jesus. So when they say, I adjure thee in the name of the Lord, in the Old Testament, that person, whether you have been lying before, you must say the truth. So it's a commanding, it's the highest level of commanding in spiritual things. So he said, adjure thee that thou say nothing but the truth to me in the name of the Lord. So he adjured him in the name of the Lord, and he can no longer speak negative things now. Verse 16. Then he said, I did see all Israel scattered upon the mountains, as sheep that have no shepherd. And the Lord said, these have no master. Let them return therefore every man to his house in peace. Verse 17. And the king of Israel said to, didn't I tell you, look at the man I told you about. He said, didn't I tell you that he will not prophesy good to him, but evil? Again he said, therefore hear the word of the Lord. I saw the Lord sitting upon his throne, and all the host of heaven standing on his right hand and on his left. And the Lord said, who shall entice Ahab, king of Israel, that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one spake saying after this manner, and another spake saying after the other manner. Take note of verse 20. Then came out what? I told you, when a spirit, a demon, unclean spirit, that was what killed King Saul. It was what destroyed Saul's life. The moment that unclean spirit came and entered inside him, the first thing he did was what? To corrupt his counsel from God. To block counsel from God. Unclean spirit, demon. That's the first thing they target. They target the eyes, target the ears, target the mind, target the memory, target the dream, cut off all those channels and block the person from counsel so that God cannot reach the person anymore. So that's what he's explaining. You say, there's something I'm seeing now. Something happened in heaven. God has determined that you will go to Ramoth Gilead and die there. He said, but how are they going to achieve it? A spirit came out and stood before the Lord and said, I will entice him. And the Lord said, how are you going to do it? And he said, I will go out and be what? A lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. So that demon came out and entered all the 400 lying prophets of Ahab. That demon possessed them. The 400 of them. So they are now prophesying by lying spirit, thinking that they were speaking in the name of God. They were prophesying by lying spirit. And the Lord said, thou shalt entice. He said, thou shalt also prevail. Go and do even so. Now therefore, behold, the Lord has put a lying spirit in the mouth of these thy prophets, and the Lord has spoken evil against thee. Verse 23. Then Zedekiah, that one that has been demonstrating since, the son of Shenanah, came near and smote Micaiah upon the cheek. He slapped him. These are people that have been prophesying since. And said, which way when the spirit of the Lord, when the spirit of God is gone, you will not know. He himself didn't know. When the unclean spirit or satanic spirit or demonic spirit are taking over, you will not know. He said, where did the spirit of God go from me to be speaking to you? 24. And Micaiah said, behold, thou shalt see on that day when thou shalt go into the inner chamber to hide thyself. He said, don't worry, very soon it will happen. You are going to hide that day. 25. Then the king of Israel said, take him Micaiah, carry him back to Ammon, the governor of the city, and to Joash the king's son. And thus said the king, put this fellow in the prison. Fit the same thing King Saul was doing. The moment Samuel come, he will tear his cloth, naked him, do everything to Samuel. The same thing he's doing to Micaiah now. When the unclean spirit has taken over, when evil spirit has taken over, he will make the person to even cut off all other people that could help you. Cut off all the help. You see his statement. He said he hated him. He doesn't want to get anything to do with him. That's the only person in the land that could save him. He hated him. Now he said they should go and lock him up in the prison and feed him with the bread of affliction and water of affliction until I come back in peace. Verse 33. Verse 33. So he went to that war. Even if he's a wise man, shouldn't he say, use wisdom and say, you have provoked me, I'm not going to this war again. Just use style or tactics and stay home. Yeah? You know, there's one parable. They say it's style that adults used to run away from cow. You use style to dodge the trouble. But he still went to that war. Why? Because unclean spirit is in operation. And a certain man drew a bow at a venture and smote the king of Israel between the joints and the harness. Therefore he said to his chariot man, turn thy hand, that thou mayest carry me out of the host, for I am wounded. And the battle increased that day. Howbeit, the king of Israel stayed himself up in his chariot against the Syrians until the evening. About the time of the sun going down, he died. The unclean spirit has completed his job. The same way they did to King Saul. The unclean spirit has done his job. When the enemies want to attack, when they want to destroy anybody, they will first start with attacking the sleep, attacking the dreams, attacking the visions, attacking the mind, the brain, the memory. And then with the help of a demon, that will be manipulating everything, the person will become irredeemable. Saul became irredeemable. Ahab became irredeemable. Even when he had the chances of the best prophets in the land. Maybe before Ahab, he will have had messages of Micaiah, even with all the negative dreams, with all the negative prophecies of Micaiah. He has been hearing those messages before, but he didn't kill Micaiah. The only thing, he just hated him. But this time around, because his demon is involved now, he was determined. He said, put him in prison, feed him with all kinds of things. Because of, clean spirit is now involved. A lying spirit. He was now very angry against the prophet of God. Against the prophet of God. So what I'm begging you, brethren, is this. We are going to pray against all kinds of unclean spirits. When they come into the life of a man, you can't suspect. They are not like physical bodies. You can see even the prophets. They didn't know that lying spirit has come into them. That's why the man was angry and disputing. Where did the Spirit of God go from me? You will not know. And they will be carrying out this operation gradually. They will start by switching off important lights. The light of revelation, they will switch it off. The light of dream, they will switch it off. One after the other will switch everything off. And then darkness and gross darkness will take over. Let's close our eyes. And let's cry unto the Lord. This was what Saul didn't do. He didn't cry unto the Lord in repentance. This was what Ahab didn't do. Assuming Ahab went that night and cried unto the Lord will have preserved his life. I want you to cry unto the Lord now and beg the Lord and say, my God and my Father, everything that I have done, everything that I am doing, that has invited unclean spirit, invited demons and lying spirits into my life, Lord, I stand before you today. I condemn myself.
Thank you for watching. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to join our growing community of faith. You've just listened to the sermon, but there are powerful prayers that follow. Due to social media rules and guidelines, the prayers have been removed from this video. However, you can access the full prayers and more life-changing resources by visiting www.pastorhillary.org or downloading our app, Diadem Media. If you're in the London area, we'd love to have you fellowship with us in person at 4 Pegamoid Road, N18 2NG. If you have any questions about this message, want counseling from Pastor Hillary, or wish to share your testimonies following the prayers, please leave a comment below and someone from our team will get in touch. Until next time, may God bless you abundantly and guide you in all your ways. Stay victorious.